Hey friends, it's Melony, and today I want to talk to you about something that I think it's probably only going to interest a small group of the people who watch my channel, but it is something that I've been asked to talk about, and so I figured that I would share. A lot of people have a misconception about what it's like to be a homeschooling parent. A lot of people think that it's really easy and that you stay home all day and what can possibly be hard about it. A lot of people think that it's like the hardest thing in the world. And I will say it's really not either of those. Some days it's really hard and some days it's a lot easier. So I just kind of wanted to tell you a little bit about what a perfect homeschool day would look like for us, and then give you more of a glimpse of what our homeschool days really look like more often than not. So on a perfect Monday through Friday homeschool day, a day when we're not planning on leaving the house, I generally try to be up in the morning a couple of hours before I anticipate that the kids will be up. But if you have young kids, then you kind of can't really always anticipate when they're gonna wake up. So that's kind of a shot in the dark. I just usually try to get up between 6 and 6:30. I don't always accomplish that, but on a perfect day, I absolutely would. I guess if we're being honest, on a perfect day, I'd be up even earlier than that, but hey, I'll be doing good if I can get up at 6. So what I generally will do is for about an hour in the morning, I spend my time, the first thing is I'll get my coffee and take our smallest dogs outside and let them take care of their business. And then I would like to have time to sit down and read my Bible and write in my prayer journal and pray, and just that's how I like to start my mornings. It makes me feel more prepared for my day and more at peace. I don't get to do that every morning, but most mornings I make sure that happens, because that is definitely a high priority for me. Generally after that, I would start on my daily chores. I would make my bed. I would start the laundry, clean up any messes that might have been made in the kitchen late in the night or early in the morning, just those types of things. I usually at this time will also sit down and write out my to-do list for the day. And I generally will try, if I have time, to get on the computer for a few minutes and check for emails that I need to respond to. I'll check our bank activity and make sure that everything looks copacetic and that we're good to go. I also will try to respond to some comments at this time if I can, if I have time. But the computer time is kind of what I do last, because that's what I'm generally doing when my kids wake up. So, because that's the thing that when they're awake, I can shut the computer off and it's done, and I know I can come back to it later. If I'm gonna have to sacrifice something in the morning, I would rather it be time spent on my computer doing those types of things. So once my kids are up, it's time for breakfast. I either make breakfast for them or they kind of get their own breakfast as far as the older kids, and then I help with Kyler. And then we clean up our breakfast mess, get dressed, and generally we usually have a little bit of chore time first thing in the morning. Now this, depending on when my kids wake up and how quickly I can get them moving, our chore time may start at 9 or 9:30, or it could start at 10. The mornings when it starts at 10, those are really hard mornings for us because that is a little bit too late. But usually we have some chore time first thing in the morning where we all pitch in and do some chores. And then we start school. And my girls do school independently. They don't need a whole lot of assistance from me at this point. When they have questions or things that they need me to help them with, I'm here to help them, but a lot of their school is independent, which I have a 6th grader and an 8th grader this year, and I think that that's kind of what's to be expected. So yeah, they do school on their computers. And I primarily just do school with Grant at this point. We will usually sit down and do reading or math. We usually just have one main focus for the day. I don't like to overwhelm him, but I do like to really focus on one thing. So we will do reading or we will do math. And then generally we will do that for 30 to 45 minutes, just me and him. Kyler is generally with us because I don't have anything else that she can be doing at that time. So she's usually there with us as well, which kind of irritates Grant a little bit, but that's the nature of the way that our life is right now. So usually we will have some dedicated one-on-one learning time for 30 to 45 minutes. And then he gets to have a little bit of what I would consider supplemental education, because we have multiple educational DVDs in our home, some that teach him sight words, some that teach him multiplication facts. We have science DVDs that he watches that he really, really enjoys. So he learns about earth science and physical science, and he learns about the anatomy, and he learns all of those things. So usually he will watch a DVD that is an educational DVD for a little while, or he will do some type of activity like painting or puzzles, or some type of activity where he's learning, but it's not like with a textbook, and it's not sitting down with me. And by the time that all of that has kind of wrapped up, usually it's lunchtime. We do lunch at 12 o'clock because that's when my husband comes home for lunch. We have lunch from 12 to 1. We usually have lunch, then clean up our mess and spend some time with my husband before he has to go back to work. And then nap time is from 1 to 3. Kyler is 21 months old right now, so obviously she still takes an afternoon nap. Grant is 5 and almost 6 actually. And he still has a nap some days, and then some days he doesn't. So on the days that he does have a nap, he and Kyler both lay down. On the days when he stays up, then I will usually have dedicated like office time during nap time, where I will sit and I will finish responding to emails. I will make phone calls that I need to make. I will do research if I need to on my computer. I will pay bills during this time. I do a lot of our banking online. What else? I respond to comments. I will edit a video if I need to, but this is time that I really try to be very diligent about making sure that I'm working on the computer, since I don't want to take time away from my kids, at a lot of times during the day. So during that time, if Grant is awake, usually he will be in my bedroom with me. You guys have seen pictures of him sometimes on Instagram playing with his Legos or his little Connects or building blocks or something of that nature. It's a quiet activity that he does, but it still is encouraging him to, use his imagination. And then 3 or 3:30 rolls around, Kyler will wake up, or Grant and Kyler will wake up, depending on who's napping for the day. And usually we have a little bit of free time where the kids can play. Sometimes they will, it's pretty rare, but every now and then they'll get to watch some cartoons in the afternoon. I mean, that happens. That's really rare. I can't even tell you the last time that happened, but usually they have some playtime. And then usually about 4:15 or 4:20, we stop what we're doing and do a quick cleanup of the house, because my husband gets off work at 4:30, and so we know that he's going to be heading home soon. And then my husband comes home and we have family time for the rest of the evening, and have dinner and baths and, whatever it is that we're going to do. That is basically a perfect day, in my opinion, at home in our homeschool. Now, reality is quite different, because you also have to factor in when we have doctor's appointments, or like today we went to a Bible study at church. On days when I have to go to the grocery store and I have to take the kids with me, or we have to every other weekend we take Ryan to her dad, and so we're gone for 2.5, maybe 3 hours doing that. And I mean, all of these things have to happen like right in the middle of our day. And so obviously that's going to throw everything off. Reality is that we get things done when we can get things done. I try very hard to stick to the schedule the best that I can, but it doesn't always happen that way. Last night, Kyler did not sleep well at all. She was not feeling well. I'm really still not even sure exactly what was wrong with her, except that I think that she had an upset stomach. And she's got some allergy issues, and so she's kind of congested, so she's not able to breathe really well right now. And so she just couldn't sleep. So I was up a lot last night with her. Therefore, I didn't get up this morning until 7:15, which means, guess what didn't happen this morning? My Bible study did not happen this morning because she woke up when I woke up and there wasn't time for me to have alone time this morning. We went straight into breakfast and getting ready for the day. We didn't even do our chores this morning because we had to leave our house by 9, and you see how all of this is going. We don't have perfect homeschool days in our house. We do what we can when we can. I work as hard as I can to, keep up with things around the house so that it doesn't get overwhelming. But I will be honest with you. I mean, we're friends here, so I'm going to be real and I'm going to be honest and tell you that sometimes things in my house get a little bit out of hand. And when that happens, I generally need to take a day where I say, we are not leaving the house. I'm going to stay here. We're going to focus on things here at the house. We're going to do school and I'm going to clean. And I work as hard as I can to clean on those days. Our home is not really any different than anyone else's as far as it doesn't clean itself. We have to clean it and I have to really stay on top of it. So, like I said, homeschooling expectations versus reality, it's pretty different. We don't have perfect days around here, but on a perfect day, that is what our schedule would look like. But in reality, we have a lot of interruptions. We have behavior issues that have to be addressed. We have children who don't feel well. We have, just any manner of crazy things that happens around here. So that is kind of a glimpse into maybe what a typical homeschool day looks like for us, and then what an ideal homeschool day would look like for us. I realize I didn't go into a lot of detail about, what a typical day looks like. Imagine all of that, but crammed into a much shorter time frame. We just have to hurry a lot more when we know we're not going to be here all day long. And those are the days, honestly, when chores don't really happen. I do what I can in the evening when my husband is here and can be with the kids, and they don't need me quite as much. But on those days, we have to make sure that school still happens. And so the days when we have to be out of the house in the morning, I can pretty much guarantee that in the evening, I'm going to be cleaning and so forth. Those are the days that I don't necessarily get to sit down with my husband and, have some one-on-one time. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful in some way. If you're a homeschooling mom and you feel like you're struggling to get it all done, please know that you are not alone. I think that this is kind of just the way that it is for homeschoolers, It's hard. It's really hard to get it all done. And there are so many days. In fact, there are more days that I don't get it all done than days that I am able to accomplish getting everything on my list checked off. So just keep on plugging away, keep on trying, keep on pushing to do the best that you can do. And that's really all of us. That's all that any of us can do. So I will be back with another video very soon. If you liked the content of this video, give it a thumbs up. That really doesn't do a whole lot except let me know that yes, you do like this type of video. And I have some exciting videos coming up for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and take the time to do that. It would mean the world to me. I will be back very soon. Bye, guys.